Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Peanut Craft here on the Rubik's Craft server, and I'm surrounded by heads. These are all my heads. Admittedly, it looked much more abundant when it was on one singular mushroom stem, as opposed to these giant walls with just space to be filled. But we are making progress in our head hunt, at the very least. There's a little bit of structure already going on. We've got the villager trader starting off at the entrance. That might be moved at some point, but there's the perfect amount of llamas to be underneath, and then more llamas will line up next to them, just the regular kind. Then we've got like basic mobs here, like cow, chicken, and maybe some other things. Then it gets into water, right? Just slowly categorizing certain things. On this wall, it's mostly going to be enemies and villagers. So more NPCs, I guess, and enemies. I don't know. But this bottom row is going to basically all be zombie villagers, while the top row, or the next row, is going to be basically all villagers, and then we'll have some of the pillager family here, and then maybe some mobs along the side. Now, if my calculations are correct, we should still have enough room for all the mobs with these two walls. But you never know when an update might add some, right? That's the tricky part. But as I've promised last episode, which if you didn't check out last episode, maybe you should. I feel like it was a pretty good episode, but for some reason, it was something was wonky with the upload or something like that, because like it wasn't hitting people's like subscription feeds as easily or something. I don't know. But alas, you're here now, and in this episode, we're going to be doing a head hunt. That's what I said we're going to do last episode, and that's what we're going to do this episode. And to do a head hunt, we're going to go on a camping trip. And what better camping partner to bring than Alfonso, who I'm going to be keeping my camping supplies in there. We're just getting some oak fences and white wool to make a tarp over our head, as well as some carpet. And then, of course, we're going to need campfires. Why not bring 20 campfires on a camping trip? That's what every normal person does, right? The reason we're going on a camping trip, though, is primarily to get heads. But I thought it'd be a fun opportunity to really explore the overworld, right? And doing so through camping is pretty nice. So in order to explore the overworld, we're going to do the only natural thing, which is go through the not overworld, the nether, and really hope that Alfonso doesn't suffocate, but we're going to find out. Alfonso is fine. Good to know. I got a little bit worried there. I don't even know which direction to head. Let's head... Let's see. Let me think about it for a second. So I foolishly didn't bring any flint and steel or obsidian to make my own portal, so I'm going to have to rely on somebody else's, because I'm definitely not taking Alfonso to the nether down here. I have had such horrible nether luck this season. I feel like all 8 of my deaths have been from the nether. Not all of them, but pretty much all of them. It feels like all of them, right? Maybe I'm just getting old and bad at the nether or something. But either way, we're going to get out of the nether when we find... this is a good spot. I think we're going a little bit further. I think there should be one more portal out this way. Aha! This jungle plank thing. Oh, it's spruce. Wait, spruce might not beat me. I might have made this portal. I don't know. But if it's the portal I'm thinking of, it could be the smaller mesa biome that I had utilized. Please don't suffocate on the way out, Alfonso. That'd be really sad. Okay, good. Yes, this is. Yeah, so I mined up here a little bit. I don't remember if I did that on camera or off camera. But the reason was because that other place is getting like completely mined out. And I was like, I need a lot of it, right? For the puzzle towers. Ooh, look at that cave. It's scary. But we're not going to be spending time in here. We're actually going to head into the desert for starters. We're not getting this bunny. We've already got so many of those bunny heads. Sometimes it's about the gain too, you know? Come on. If I can even hit it. There we go. Oh my gosh, I got another. That's crazy. Anyways, the point of this episode is to get heads. But what I'm going to be doing while I get heads is telling you guys stories of my camping trip. We're going to be talking about camping while camping, okay? That's the idea. You may see some horrific things while I talk about it, because I've got a lot of things to kill, which may or may not have to do with why I'm here at a unmarked village. Anyways, so yeah, I went on a camping trip, right? And the crazy thing about this camping trip is that it really I went up to Northern California. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am from Southern California, and Southern California and Northern California are like two completely different places. Like very, very, very different places. Both in like climate, but also in just the kind of people you meet, right? There's a lot more farms up in NorCal. There's also a lot more woods up there, so you find a lot more like you know, woods-like folks, you know, lumberjack people. I say lumberjack because I swear everyone is really tall up in NorCal. I don't know what it is. Something about being close to those trees that got them so tall and very menacing. But let me set up camp here. Okay, this seems as good a spot as any. Let's do 3 up like so. Keep this really simple, and then we'll go down to just 1 maybe, like that. And we got some simple wool going down this way, and I think I need 1 on top too. Let's actually do this. Right. I mean, we could keep those there too. There we go. How is that looking? And we just put this along the side here. And where are we putting? I guess right here. Looks a little wonky, doesn't it? Okay, I think that's as good as we're gonna get. Next, let's lay down our sleeping bag right here, and then Alfonso, come back. He keeps trying to return to where he came from. Pretty sure I got Alfonso. Actually, no, not that direction. Far that direction, actually. So I don't know what he's doing. He's confused. Let's put our pillow down, and then of course we got our campfire to go right here, where we got some meat to cook, some raw pork chop, as well as that. I got a rabbit's foot. That's actually really rare. I might put that in my ender chest. Every camper should have an ender chest on them, you know? And that's what I took up to NorCal, was an ender chest. I also have a lead for you to make sure you don't go away. And there we go. What a nice little campsite. But yeah, NorCal was very pretty. It was extremely pretty. Lots of cool places to camp. My buddy and I, we were actually doing dry camping. If you don't know what dry camping is, oh, look at that, it's morning. Dry camping is essentially when you don't have water. See how I just put water to put that out? Dry camping is when you don't have water. Instead, what you have is you bring your own water. I'm sorry, you have water, but you bring it, right? There's no facilities, there's no well you get it from, there's no spigots or anything like that. You pack in your water and then you pack it out. That's the whole idea, is that you pack in what you pack out. So that's what dry camping is. And we did a couple of dry camping spots. We also did a couple of regular camping spots, right? Some were deep in the woods, some were on top of mountains, some were on the coast even, which is pretty crazy. What's also crazy is some of the stories we have from over there. One crazy story in particular was we had a near bear sighting. You could basically call it a bear sighting, but it's more like a bear hearing. At one of the campsites we went to, right? Well, first let me give a little insight as to bears, right? Bears generally don't want to hurt humans, okay? So if you're ever scared about camping because of bears, keep that in mind. Bears generally don't want to hurt human. Bears generally do want to eat food, though, right? And if the only food they can get is human, well, then they might go after human. But it's not top of their priorities. In fact, usually what their top priority is trash. If there is trash around, bears will hunt that sucker down. They will find it anywhere and everywhere. They can smell it from a mile away. They can smell it if you bury it. Do not bury your trash, by the way, if you go camping. That is a common misconception, because they will smell it and they will find it. Now, we usually, when you go to campgrounds with trash cans, they are bear proof. They have bear locks so that they can't open up the trash can. They will try, but they can't. We went to a place that turns out the dumpster that was right next to our campsite did not have bear-proof locks on it. Now, here's the issue, right? The more bear-proof you make a lock, the more harder it is for a human to unlock it, right? And a bear learns over time, right? So every time you, like, if a bear figures out a lock, then it's just going to remember how to do it every time. But you have this thing where it's like, if you make it too hard for the humans, they're just going to be too lazy to throw away the trash properly. Instead, they're going to leave the trash in their sight or hang it from a tree or bury it. All of which are things you just shouldn't do. You should put them in bear-safe containers or keep them in your car. Even cars, bears can technically open cars, right? But typically they can't smell the trash as easily through the car, or if they try to get through, they can't always open the car. That's where you can do your own research. I'm not an expert, but all that said, we found out that there was a non-bear-proof trash can next to our site, and this was during Labor Day weekend, or Memorial Day weekend, rather. I'm not finding, like, any animals around. So during Memorial Day weekend, I might find some frogs, that'd be nice. during Memorial Day weekend, there was tons of campers around, right? And this was right next to a beautiful lake. It was an otherwise really good spot, but it did not have protective trash cans specifically by our site, which I didn't even realize until around 10 o'clock at night. I turn in for the night, you know. I put out the fire. I get into my tent. I'm stuck inside these trees. That's in game, not in the camping. My buddy, he also goes down for the night, right? And before I even fall asleep, I start hearing like something walking near the trash can, and I just hear like banging, like bang, bang, bang against that trash can over and over again, right? And I'm like, wow, someone is like really mad at that trash can or something, because they just keep banging it over and over, bang, bang, and then I hear like some like ruffling and some like plastic bag stuff moving and stuff, and I think right then is when I realized, I was like, that's not a human. No human would be doing that to the trash. At least no human in the right mind who's out here camping. Like maybe you find some wackos on the street or something, right? But he this bear was no wacko, it was a bear. These dumpsters are so big to the point where it could not have been an animal other than a bear from where we are. Look at you. Oh, I feel like I should catch it to can I catch it? No, I can only catch the tadpoles. Oh man, I feel bad killing it because I'm like, this could be useful. But we're camping out here, you know? Survival of the fittest. I'm lost. I don't even know where to go. So this bear, right? It had to have been a bear because there's no mountain lions or anything. Even a mountain lion probably wouldn't have been able to open up the trash can and dig trash out. Because that's the thing, trash was spilling onto the floor. I could hear it. Things rolling. He's having the time of his life feasting on that trash. I kid you not, that trash can was maybe, I don't know, 20 feet? 20 feet. No, let's say 50 feet. 50 feet seems more reasonable. I'm not great with directions. Every time I run a D&D game, people tell me, they're like, Pat, you're not good at directions. I'm like, I know, I'm not good at the measurements. But let's say 50 feet. That sounds about right to me. 50 feet away from my tent is that trash can. So I hear this bear loud and clear, and I am not moving. I'm not making a sound. I'm just like, well, shoot. I'm not startling this bear no matter what. The last thing you want to do when you encounter a bear is startle it, right? If anything, you want it to... I'm so lost. Hang on, let me find my way out of here. Uh-oh. Aw. Now, this is peculiar. I found someone's Frostwalker boots, which means someone was around here, right? Because this isn't normally generated ice, but this is such a hard place to traverse. So I don't know who's living here. I can't find my way out of here, so I might as well continue the story while stuck in this place. Basically, yeah, so I'm not making a move. I'm not startling this thing, but I hear my buddy, his name's Caleb, by the way. He's also done like a lot of YouTube stuff. We were YouTube pals back in the day. He came out of his tent. I hear him unzip, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I didn't say that, but in my mind, I'm like, what is this guy doing? And I see like his light turn on. He's a little lantern. I see it illuminating through my tent, and I'm just like, what in the world is this? Why is this guy getting out? He's maybe 50 feet away from my tent, right? So he's not as close to the bear as I was, but he walks out tent. I see the light slowly bobbing closer and closer to where the bear is, and I'm just like, Caleb's a goner. Like, this guy's crazy. He wants to go out and take a picture of the bear or something like that. Keep in mind, Caleb, he's really into wildlife, right? He really likes to take pictures and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so stuck. We camp here for the night. He loves to take pictures of wildlife. So I was like, is he really like going out there to take a picture of this darn thing? I was about to be really frustrated. But then I was like, you know what? Caleb probably realizes that it's not a bear. I'm probably mistaken. He probably sees that it's something else, and that's why he's coming out to see it. So like, it almost reassured me a little bit. And then like, I noticed like the ruffling through trash stops, and like Caleb stops. I see the light stop, and like in my head, I'm like, oh no, Caleb is staring down this bear right now. Like, that's an issue. I see Caleb's light like slowly go back to his tent and like turn off. And then the ruffling in the trash just continues. Turns out Caleb never saw the bear. It was so dark, and his light was creating like a halo, like a wall of light that he could only see in that sphere and nothing else, right? I don't know how much that makes sense, but I was just like, ooh, you know what? Let's try the new mossy pillow. That sounds good. And let's also do a soul fire for now. Let's grab out this one. So Caleb didn't even see what the heck was going on. And he just went it that close to the bear and then went back. He got upset with me for not telling him, like, Caleb, why are you going out there with the bear? And looking back, yeah, I probably should have said that. But the things that was going through my mind is, don't startle this bear, or Caleb knows this isn't a bear. Otherwise, why in the world would he be walking out there? Like, that makes no sense, right? Generally, Caleb's a pretty good camper too. So I was like, he probably knows what he's doing, right? But the bear never attacked us. It kept rummaging through trash. And it came back like later in the middle of the night too. Like it got what it wanted, it left, and then it came back to get what it needed. Always put out your fire, fellas. And when I woke up, I was inspecting the area and there's trash spilled all over on the floor. I'm like, oh, that sucks. And later I saw the camp host actually drive by and clean it up. Because there was a camp host at this trip. A campground host is usually someone who essentially lives on the site, or like seasonally lives on the site and just maintains it and accepts the payments for if it's a paid site and stuff like that, right? Not all sites are paid though. You can actually find free campsites, at least in California. I don't know how it works everywhere, but there's a website called freecampsites.com or .org or something like that. And if you ever want to find free campsites, that's your best bet. It's not always the most reliable, but for the most part, you can always find something, which is pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, that was the bear story. And like when Caleb woke up, I was like, are we going to talk about what happened last night? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? What do I mean? The bear that you just decided to walk up towards? And yeah, that's when he fully realized the situation. Oh, well, a bear's going to get me if I don't know how to get out of here. Maybe I got to actually like get on top of these trees. Yeah, this isn't dangerous at all. That beacon probably represents the mining area, if my calculations are correct. But yeah, that is the mining, not the mining. That is the bear story. It doesn't get much more involved than that. But that is definitely the closest in proximity I've been to a bear. That it was definitely a bear. There's no doubt about it. It couldn't have been any other animal. A dumpster is huge, and it was literally digging trash out of it. It wasn't some raccoon that jumped in and decided to have a play date. It was a bear. It had to have been. However, I did see a bear. I also saw one. This time, it was a cub, which, for those of you who don't know, a cub sighting when you're camping is far scarier than a bear sighting. Because if you see a cub, there's a mama bear that's not too far away, right? And there's nothing that makes a mama bear want to kill humans more than it thinking its cub is in danger. The mama bear analogy is fully true, right? Oh, finally I'm out of that awful place. What is this? Oh shoot, we discovered someone's home. And another person's home over there. What is this? This looks cool. This isn't even a home. This is like a ruins almost. Looks like there used to be animals here or farms or something. Dang, I don't know. It's pretty dope though. Oh, naturally, village trading center. Oh gosh, I wish I could make use of this right now. I really need villager heads, and I just killing them from random villages might not be the best way to go. But yeah, we saw a baby cub on the road while we were driving to another spot, which by the way, this spot happened to have a closed road, which we didn't know about, so we couldn't even end up going to that spot. That was a long night. We went through spot after spot after spot, and they were all closed. But that's okay. We eventually found one. We were like the last people to get in there. What sucks is someone came after us and all the sites were full. I'm like, god dang, that's rough. I hate to see it. Anyways, okay, let's see. Let's go. Whoop. No, this way. Let's go this way. We're still trying to figure out where we can get the most heads. But yeah, that was frightening. There's a couple other interesting stories, not really involving bears per se. But I did get food poisoned. We found a cool local pizza place, right? In this pizza place, it was like, oh cool, local pizza place from a small town. I think the town was Eureka, actually. And the reason I know that is because Eureka is also the name of a TV show about a small town. So I think we found the town that the show was based off of, which is kind of cool. It wasn't filmed in it or anything, but it was based off of it. Now, this place, this is such an awkward portal. This place was very, It was. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't great pizza. It was a little burnt. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was gonna be like a hidden gem, but I don't know what kind of expectations I was putting for myself. Did that drop ahead? If it did, I don't have it, which is unfortunate. Yeah. So the pizza wasn't great. On our drive back from the pizza, though, we're going up windy roads, which a lot of campsites you have to go up long, windy roads to get to them, right? And at some point, Caleb just stops the car and he's like, I need to use the restroom now. Like, I cannot wait 20 minutes to go up. This came out of nowhere, but I need to go now. So he rushes. He grabs listen, in emergency scenarios, it's good to have a shovel and a roll of toilet paper, okay? Because while a lot of the sites we went to had bathrooms, which was awesome, outhouses, more like not really bathrooms, but this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you, Alfonso, I promise you. Oh, thankfully we only had to do that once. Look at that. We got a donkey head. That's good. Yeah, Caleb had to go do his business. He had to go do his business. You know, not judging. He pulled us on the side and then, snuck off somewhere, did his business, right? And then he came back. He's like, dude, it just came out of nowhere. It was so rough, right? I understand this is a little bit of a gross part of the story, but rest assured, it only gets grosser. Ooh, the cats are things that I need. I don't think I have this kind of cat. I don't think I have any cats. I wish I could lure it over. Come here. I might have to do one of these bad boys. I think I pulled out my sword in time. I don't even know if that theory still works. Yeah, these villagers are gonna die. So Caleb he had it rough, and then the following, like, I felt fine though. So I was like, maybe Caleb's lactose intolerant or something. I felt fine. The next day, we had extra pizza, right? Because we decided to get the extra large because it was a better value, and we packed it up, put it in our cooler. We had pizza for lunch again. Caleb immediately felt it again and had to go. I was like, okay, that sucks, but I guess I'm still okay. Like a few hours after that is when I feel it. Suddenly I feel it. I think I'm gonna have to kill this guy because these guys drop heads too, and I think they're relatively frequent rate that they drop. Let's see. This should be safe, yeah. So like a few hours later, I feel it too, and this happened to be the one campsite we went to that did not have any outhouses. Every other one we got pretty lucky in having outhouses. This is the one that didn't. It was so secluded in the woods, and it was very cool because it was secluded in the woods. You felt like you were like in the woods, even campsites were like maybe a half a mile apart from each other, which was pretty cool. What's not cool is when you have to use the restroom and there's no restrooms. So I had to do the shovel tactic, right? You do what you gotta do, okay? We're past that part. But there's something, well, I had to do it like several times. This is the problem. It kept hitting me. I probably had to do it like 12 times. Not 12, that's an exaggeration. Let's say 6 times. 6 times. And I was like, that's crazy. Why do I have to, like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And alas, none of these guys are dropping anything. I don't want to kill all of them. I always got to leave some in case people want to rebreed. But, there's so many people with villagers, I don't think we'll ever have a non-villager problem. In the middle of the night, I got up. At like 1:30 a.m., when I thought I was well done, I felt it in my stomach and I had to get up and I had to go again. There is nothing more vulnerable than grabbing a tiny little lantern, stepping outside in your shoes, walking up, I forget even how far it is at this point, like 20 feet or something, 50 feet away from the campsite, hiking up a mountain in the dark, not really seeing where you're going, and then, doing your business in the woods while there's just bugs like swarming your lantern and stuff like that, and you hear some like rustling like way down the mountain and stuff. There's nothing more vulnerable than that. Like you're like, I am not the top of the food chain here when you do that. Thankfully that was the last time my stomach had to deal with it. The rest of the trip I felt fine. We immediately threw away those pizzas though the next day. We're like, this is the most cursed pizza place we ever went to. That concludes the most interesting of ooh, cat, come on. Are we really gonna, the only head I got that I didn't already have was the donkey head, and that's where I'm gonna end the episode. So much for head hunting. This is no longer the head hunting episode. This was just the camping episode, okay? And we are gonna set up one last camp right here next to the village. That's all the stories, that's the most interesting stories. So many stories came from my trip. I was gone for 2 weeks. It was a 2-week road trip. road trip camping trip, right? Lots of fun. I got so many cool photos, as I've already shown before. Checked out the redwood trees, which was awesome. Great once in a lifetime thing that you should do is check out the redwoods. Great time, but had some funny stories. Some of them were less fortunate than others. The only other interesting animal part of the story, I think, is when we camped right next to a cow pasture, and we saw cows literally walking and like mooing to wake us up and stuff, and that was pretty funny. They were maybe also, I would say, 50 feet away. I keep saying 50 feet, but that's the gist of it. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, it was a great time. Highly recommend going on a long camping trip. 2 weeks was a little too long for my liking, I think. I think by the end of it, I was like getting pretty homesick, but I'm still glad I did it. And of course, camping for any shorter amount of time is something I would love to do again in the future. And those are just some of my stories. Now, let me level with you for a second. I've been a busy bee in real life, okay? I just started a new job, and it's a full-time job, and it's whew, boy, it gets me exhausted, right? It's graphic design. It's not like labor work or anything like that, but by the time I get home, I am utterly exhausted, and it's tough to make videos with the same level of amount, like the same amount done in them, right? So simple episodes like this are probably just going to happen here and there, where I just kind of just hit record, right? I don't plan much. I just hit record and I go. I should probably find Alfonso. That might be the future, or that might be happening a decent amount in the future. But rest assured, I'm still having a great time on the server. And if I ever miss an upload or anything like that, I'm not leaving or anything like that. These episodes take some time, and time is very valuable right now, which is strange because time goes by so quickly when it's nighttime. Like it just, like already day. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys continue to watch, and I hope you guys like this episode, and I hope you guys stay fresh out there. Stay frosty, as the cool people say. Thank you for watching. Wait. I want this head. Give it to me. Did he drop it? Oh, that would have been too much to ask for an end of the episode miracle. I'll keep looking for heads, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. So take care, so long, and goodbye.